Hi there, I'm Andrew. Welcome to Urban Rider for another look at some of the world's finest riding gear. Today we're going to be showing you the new Racer Forge Urban Heated Glove. These are new for winter 2018. They've been developed by Racer France in collaboration with us here at Urban Rider. We have a UK exclusive on these and we're really excited to tell you guys all about them. So normally we find most heated gloves tend to be developed primarily with function over form in mind. They're really there just as a means to an end to keep your hands as warm as possible. So what you often end up with is something quite cumbersome and chunky that also doesn't necessarily look in keeping with the majority of outfits that a typical urban rider customer and viewer would be wearing. So they're very, very good, but we wanted to create something a little bit different that had the right look and the right feel that it didn't lose out on any of that heated wonderfulness on those cold days. So these gloves then have been developed with a 100% goatskin outer. They're very supple, they're very lightweight in their nature as a glove, but they still work wonderfully in terms of keeping you warm. So this 100% goatskin outer has a really good abrasion resistant element to it. It's backed up by a waterproof and breathable membrane, so it's going to be great for weatherproofing, and beneath that you have a thermal regulating Primaloft inner liner too. So all top quality spec throughout the glove in its own right. The actual weight and feel of these gloves, if you take the batteries out of them, is actually more of an intermediate season glove. So these actually feel even more lightweight than a straightforward winter glove that doesn't have a heated element to them, and therefore it's quite remarkable they do the job as well as they do on those cold days with the heated element turned on. So let's get to the actual battery part, because that's what these are all about. They're a 7-volt lithium battery in either cuff of the glove. It sits inserted in a Velcro accessed pocket just on the inner of the glove, which is really easy to get to, not fiddly at all. It's a flat lithium battery, so it sits nice and streamlined with your cuff when you have these on, when you've got them on the go. In terms of operating the heated part of the gloves, it's really straightforward. So you've got this rubberized control panel on the back of the cuff, and you simply press that in for a couple of seconds. You get the 3 LEDs, which indicates that you're on the max power setting for the first status, and you've also got this battery indicator there as well. So green is good and red or blinking means it's about to run out. You've got various different settings. So this was the first setting that I tried. Yesterday I rode in my commute. I have an exposed motorway section before I hit town, and it's a really good place to put something like a heated glove through its paces. It was about 2 or 3 degrees in the morning and it did work really well. I was left wondering perhaps if it could just be the tiniest bit warmer, it would have been perfect. And then when I got in, one of my colleagues informed me there is actually a boost setting, which I had not known about at that point. So if you simply press it once again, not exactly complicated, was it? It goes to the boost function and you've got it cycling through the different LEDs there, and this made a massive difference, and it was incredibly impressive in exactly the same temperature on my ride in this morning through that same section of road as to how warm these got, in spite of the fact they are very lightweight in and of themselves. And it meant I was still able to really chuck my bike through the standstill traffic as I was filtering on my commute with the same confidence that I would do it with my favoured pair of spring and summer riding gloves. So that's really high praise for a winter glove, let alone something that's designed as a heated glove as well. So I was really very impressed by these. And also, to impress me further, was the actual time it took for the battery to run out on boost. I basically put it on before I left, and it took an hour and a half before it ran out, and it was well into the time that I was already in the office at that point. So you get 3 hours on the full charge on the 3 out of 3 setting, and you get an hour and a half on this, and of course you're going to get longer if you have it on the other levels 2 or 1 accordingly, which are lower heat settings. So those, I can't see the point. In all honesty, if you've got a heated glove, just whack it on full or whack it on boost if you're really cold. The other settings you're probably not as likely to use. But it's really simple. When you get into the office, hold that in for a few seconds, the glove turns off. Then you simply remove the battery from inside the cuff of the glove, you pull it out, undo the clip, there's one of the batteries. In the box, you get the 2 gloves and you get this charger as well. It's got the double head to it so that you can charge both the batteries at once. If the gloves are completely out of charge, it takes 4 hours to fully recharge them. So if you're in the office, that's clearly going to be sufficient time for you to get them recharged during the day before your ride home. These were designed for the urban environment, for this kind of riding that I was doing. So if you need something that lasts you even longer at a high level of heat, then you may well need to go for something that plugs directly into your bike via a 12-volt connection. And if you want something that is even better on exposed motorway sections, you may need to go to one of the more oven mitt-like gloves from some of the other brands out there. But for me, this worked really well in this suburban, urban riding environment, even on quite a cold day. So I was very, very impressed by them. They are in stock and they're available now. If you've got any further questions about the gloves, about the way they work, do let us know. Size guide is very straightforward, so head over to urbanrider.co.uk for more info there. One thing before I wrap up actually that I do want to mention is the fit of the glove around the cuff is quite snug. So If you do that up, you can see obviously I just have my arm here. There's nothing, there's no jumper, there's no sleeve, there's no jacket. It's quite snug in the way that it does up round there. So unlike a lot of the other thermal winter heated gloves, which have a much wider aperture to the opening, they're designed to go over your jacket's cuff, which is quite easy and no fuss, but it obviously is therefore bulkier in terms of the looks and appearance. This one's more streamlined and it's designed to go under the cuff. So the first jacket I wore on the first day had quite a snug, tight cuff, and it was a little bit of a faff to do once I already had a glove on to get the other cuff done up over it. But on my other jacket and on all the other jackets the other guys have in the office, it wasn't a problem. It wasn't particularly inconvenience at all. But do bear that in mind. If you've got really, really tight, snug cuff that's not particularly forgiving on your jacket, then there may not be sufficient room to get this under with a battery in it as well. Just a thought, check it out. If you've got any more comments, you can always email us at info@urbanrider.co.uk. But that was really the only potential snagging point it's worth mentioning in this video. Otherwise, I was really very impressed by these gloves. So do leave us your thoughts, comments and feedback. We love hearing on you guys when it comes to these new product releases. And stay tuned for more video reviews of the world's finest riding gear. So thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.